Today's video is sponsored by Raziel Dungeon Arena. Hi everyone, I'm Paul, and welcome to Android Tools. So today we are going to be looking at one of the best action RPG, Raziel Dungeon Arena, which launches officially on September 22nd. And this is a global launch, so you should be able to download and play the game for free anywhere in the world on both Android and iOS devices. Support our channel by downloading Raziel Dungeon Arena for free from my link in the description. Raziel Dungeon Arena is a free-to-play hack-and-slash RPG for Android and iOS. The game is an action RPG set in a world of dark medieval fantasy. Your objective is to face off against a horde of monsters and the undead as they threaten to ravage the realm, reducing it to no more than a pile of ashes. Team up with the last standing survivors of humanity to save the world. It's up to you and your teammates to make the last attempt to preserve the human race and avoid total annihilation. In September 2020, Indrasoft is launching Raziel Dungeon Arena, the first game it has ever developed. Starting off, the game things you can see as really nice graphics, as it has some good quality voice acting. And this is no joke here. The game has top quality audio. That's the one really big selling point of the game.
And no longer huddled in that fragile shell. Because miracles are not for cowards.
There's a story that you're going to be following on in the game, and that's why the majority of my playtime, but more on that a little bit later. Start out, you can be picking from 3 different heroes: Ice Priestess, Ranger, and Beastmaster. Here's the character that we're going to be using. She is an Ice Wizard, and I will say I've only gotten up to Chapter 3, but there have been a refreshing amount of pieces of gear that actually show up on your character. Control systems in Raziel Dungeon Arena are very well adapted to touchscreen devices. Just use the movement joystick located on the left of your screen, as well as the buttons located to the right to move your character around each level. As is common to the genre when you start out, all you'll get are a set of simple attacks and 3 special attack moves for each character. But as you level up, you'll be able to unlock new skills, weapons, and special attacks that are much more devastating and inflict a greater amount of damage on your opponents. Now, I know you're looking at the screen and like, come on Paul, this looks like all the other auto path, auto quest, auto combat, auto grind action RPG with wings. And yet it does kind of look like that. But I assure you, it does not play like that. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, of course, this is a free-to-play mobile game, so there is a cash shot with costumes. But so far, I'm quite pleased with the way that my character looks. It feels good to actually play a game where you know you loot gear and you actually get to see it on your character. So let's go ahead and jump over here in Chapter 3. Now, one thing really surprised me, drives me, is the production and the presentation of this game, including the voice acting. As I said, I'm only on Chapter 3, but every NPC, every bit of quest dialogue has been voice acted with professional voice actors as well. Now, unfortunately, due to the nature of this game, there's a lot of like skill shots and things of that nature, so I have to play it on my phone. So it's going to be kind of hard for you to get that full experience. But yes, the voice acting is much better than it deserves to be. I'm telling you, and there's a lot of cutscenes as well. Once again, fully voice acted. Let me see if I can give you a little bit of a preview.
Was occupied by monsters. People realized that misfortune had indeed arrived.
It's time for you to calm down! I can't do that.
Not bad for a game that came out of nowhere. Alright, here we are in Combat Destroyed the Plague command. So let's go ahead and get started as I mentioned earlier. There is no auto combat whatsoever. There's not going to be an auto path that takes you directly to your quest objective, but it is shown there on your minimap. Now, this is not like an open world game, of course, but it's not necessarily completely linear as well. So you can kind of have a little bit of flexibility on how you decide to get to each of your objectives here. So right now, just showing what my basic attack looks like, pretty straightforward there. I have a nice little teleport that, as I teleport, I can also leave behind a little bit of ice block action there as well. So very, very nice. And then, of course, I have a nice straight line nuke, as all Frost may just need to have, to see if there's anything over here. No? Okay. So like I said, there are dead ends. There are little special locations with a treasure chest and whatnot. And one of my favorite things to do, and the reason why I love these games so much, you can round up mobs and then DPS them down. Now, the only thing I don't like about that ability is you can't like to turn it off afterward. I'm going to switch that out. Yes, there are plenty of abilities that you can switch in and out as well. So right now I'm kind of using like a really safe build, but I'll use another build after this that has a little less mobility and a lot more damage as well. But I really like to be able to just teleport around. Now you're like, wait a minute, after that stage seemed a little short. Hold, don't worry, I'll show you. Now, when you're going through these 3 chapters, it's a little bit more directed. The stages are going to be a little bit smaller, but there are bigger, more wide-open arenas as well. Alright, before we jump into that stage, let's go over into my actual character kit here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my skills. I'm going to completely change out everything that you just saw. I'm going to bring something completely different. Oh, there we go. Now I have a completely different kit right there. So let's get back into the story here. I'm going to skip through this and I'll show you a little bit more combat. So once again, remember what my skill kit looked like earlier. Now I have an ability here that is just a straight ale. We bring down the pain ability, which I kind of like, because you can set it up before combat even starts and do that. I also have an ability here that I can just keep on casting it over and over and over. More I cast it, the lower my defense is, but the higher the damage goes. I have a guy named the Bison, who is my melee companion here. So this game does have additional companions that you can recruit over time. They kind of give you a little bit more flexibility in combat. There's a necromancer like a beastmaster. I just showed you the Bison there, who is like more of a melee character, so lots of different. So many different units in this game that you can switch in and switch out. That also have their own skill trees as well, so I just showed you my skill tree. If I go over here to the Bison, he has the exact same setup, where he has multiple different abilities on every single one of his buttons here. And then, like I said a little bit earlier, a refreshing amount of gear that actually shows up and changes the way your character looks. Let's take a look at the game currencies. In the upper left corner, you have gold, you have these coupons, you have red diamonds, and you have the green diamonds. Now, the paid currency in this game is the green diamond, which you can buy with your money. The red diamond you get for free, and then the gold you get either from green diamonds or by doing different dungeons and selling gear and so on. In this game, you'll find dozens of levels packed with monsters lurking around each corner. Your objective in each level in the game is to find and finish off the end boss. But before you can do so, you'll need to explore each scenario very carefully. Roam around freely to find special items like gold, new pieces of equipment, and much more. Each of the levels was created with a great deal of care and attention, providing you with an immersive and highly detailed, realistic experience. Between one level and the next, players can get together in hubs. This is a safe area that provides a space for players to talk amongst themselves. And most importantly, you'll get to take on new missions, gain rewards for prior successful quests, and customize your hero. You can even equip your character with new weapons and armor, select new skills for battle, increase their attributes, and much more. You can also make friends with other players and participate in active cooperation campaign missions as a group. Some mobile RPGs feature voiceless dialogue screens, stock music, and clunky sound effects, which can spoil your sense of immersion. Not Raziel Dungeon Arena. Enjoy quality voice acting across the board, from the narration to the NPCs, alongside a full soundtrack and atmospheric sound design. It's those little details that really help you feel like you're exploring a fully formed fantasy world. Raziel Dungeon Arena is an action RPG that's absolutely spectacular. It offers players a fun and direct game system as well as amazing graphics. Plus, it comes with a huge variety of content and over 100 different campaign mode levels for a single player. Not to mention, it's a variety of PvP modes, cooperative mode, and the chance to create your own clans with other online players, and much more. So, what are you waiting for? Download Raziel Dungeon Arena from my link in the description. Install the game now and discover, explore, and dominate the medieval fantasy world.
1, 2, 3